Hello, hi. So for today's tutorial, we are going to have a deep dive into AWS Kiro, and we are going to look at hooks, steering, and custom agents that you can build using AWS Kiro. So for every Kiro tutorial that you have probably come across, you know that you can write a spec. Kiro will generate the working code, your credits will roll, and that's the actual demo. And this is also where the interesting part of Kiro actually starts. We have hooks, we have steerings, and we have custom agents that separate Kiro from basically just an AI autocomplete with extra steps. So a hook can run your test suite, and the instance spec will change before you've even looked at the difference of the div. Then we have a steering doc, which means every spec Kiro writes for your project will follow the same convention without you having to repeat yourself in every prompt. And a custom agent can be scoped to do exactly one particular job. That is, it will read your Git history and your writing changelog without any shell access and without a way to touch a file that is outside its lane. So now we can go into the demo and see how this actually works. So the first thing that you need to ensure is you need to ensure that you have the two terminals running. So the first terminal has your API, and the second terminal has the UI that will watch it do actual live changes as Kiro is working behind the hood. So the third terminal is where we'll launch our dev agent. So what I'll do is I will paste in the command. I will paste in the command for launching the dev agent, and I will run it over there. And as you can see, so I'll just close this one. Yes, and our dev agent. So I will say yes, accept, and we can see our dev agent is running successfully, and we can see over here it's the dev agent, and we can ask any question or request for any task on this particular section over here. You can see ask a question or describe a task. So we are going to send different prompts to see what happens under the hood. But before we do that, I will just open the UI. So I'll come back here and open the UI, and we can see this is a live demo of what is happening. So over here you can see we don't have any tasks yet. Over here we can see the last changelog that was made on this particular project, and over here we can see the status of the different specs that we are working on. So for the first prompt that we're going to send, we are going to test whether Kiro will pull the conventions.md file on its own, and if it will break the different rules that no one has stated in the prompt. So what I'm going to do is just I will copy this prompt and I will paste it over here, and you can see, so it's telling it to read the convention.md, then write a spec at requirements, and this is the requirement that is supposed to only work on. So I will send in the prompt, and as you can see, it's reading the conventions.md file over here, and now it's prepared. It's actually writing on the MD file. We can see it's already written on the MD file, and so we can see it's written to the MD file, and we can see it highlights on the different changes that have been made on the MD file. So if we come back to our live UI, we can see on our spec hook status, the last file that was touched was the requirements.md file that we had just mentioned, and it also gives us the actual timestamp of when this file was touched. Then over here, the changelog hasn't updated yet, and we have no tasks yet because we only wanted it to check on the requirements.md file. So The second thing that we're going to test is our design document. So we are going to send in a prompt that will check on 2 lines in the app.py file, and we'll add a signature app.patch line of code, and then we'll see the actual output. So I will come and copy the prompt. I will come and send in the prompt. So write a Kiro design.md file with a 2-line design note. So I will send in the prompt. You can see, so our agent is writing. That's the first action that it's doing. And if we come over here, yes, we can see that the design doc to edit app.py has been changed, and it also lists the expected test cases as required by the conventions before any task breakdown. And if we come over here on the spec hook status, we can see the last file that was touched was is the design.md. Previously it was the requirements.md file, but now it's the designs.md. So we don't have any tasks yet, because and we don't have any release notes from the changelog, because all we've been doing is just editing the requirements and also the design doc. Pattern is the same. The hook catches what it's supposed to. The scoped agent cannot do what it's not supposed to. So if you want to build this from scratch yourself and utilize it to expand whatever project you have, check out the full tutorial which walks through all the files step by step. Thanks.